Hello racing gamers and welcome back to BombersportsPlays NASCAR Heat Evolution Career Mode. We're into race 2 of the 2016 season. This is episode 3. And I'm going to state right now, this has been one of my favourite ever career mode races in any game to record. You can see we've got some basic facilities now. We're able to actually rent out some garage space, which is nice because before we were in a shed somewhere in Ohio, sharing it with some old tractors and ploughing equipment. But there's the upgrade tiers we're on right now after a 27th place finish at Daytona. Not awful, but not great either. So hopefully we can build on that momentum just a little bit going into the next round at Atlanta. First non-plate race of the season. You don't need me to tell you where we are in the points. There's how the chase looks after the first round. With Dale Earnhardt Jr. taking the win at Daytona, I think. But anyway, let's get cracking at Atlanta. Now, with our engine being so absolutely rubbish, Atlanta is almost entirely flat out. I swear to God, you heard me in turns 1 and 2, I literally just lifted off the throttle for about half a second. Our top speed in a straight line is pathetic, but it does mean we're basically almost entirely on the limit in the turns. We've got to squeeze everything we can out of this car. The engine is on the verge of blowing up, as you can see in the top left. Let's see, are we going to get anything better than 40th? We are. We're going to get 23rd. I will take a 23rd place starting spot. There's your full starting grid then. Winding through. Kevin Harvick on the pole. Probably not surprising. He's one of the guys really to watch. We'll line up 23rd just alongside Paul Menard. I will take that. I will really take that. That was a lot better than I was expecting. So here we go. It's the Folds of Honor QuickTrip 500 on deck from Atlanta. Let's bring the noise and drop the green, shall we? And it's a great start. We're up alongside David Reagan and Chase Elliott. We're looking to the inside of Danica Patrick off the line. However, one thing you will see is that the engine accelerates up to speed pretty quick, and then it has no speed. No speed at all, although we're able to kind of slot in line rather than lose all those positions back. We've tucked in line rather nicely behind Regan Smith. Denny Hamlin's up on the high side. Who's this on our outside as well? That's Casey Kane right there. Straight away, we're 2 and 3 wide at Atlanta. This is exactly the kind of racing you'd expect. Are we about to go 4 wide on the first lap with Truex Jr.? We basically are. Oh, that was close. Kane's backing out. No, he's not. He's still there. He's still fancying it. We're trying to get a little side draft off Regan Smith. Because believe me, this hamster of an engine needs all the support it can get. Probably it needs putting out of its misery and replaced with a better engine. But still, we are handling well at this end of the speedway. And we're past Regan Smith for 15th place. We've also passed Martin Truex Jr. in amongst all that, so a good start. We've moved up 8 positions in the first lap and a half. And this is really, really good. Nice to be mixing it at this end of the field. We never really got this high up at Daytona. Hello, Denny Hamlin. I can guarantee you weren't expecting to see me in the mirrors this early on, were you? And he doesn't see as much anymore because he's pulling away on the straight, but not so much. Because this is a fast intermediate. Of course, there's that whole aspect of letting off a little bit in the corners. But it's not an entirely speed-based track. And look at this. We are able to get the run on the high side of Denny Hamlin. Our car works really well in the centre, sort of a lane and a half up from the bottom and sort of up sort of middle to high lanes. Up in those grooves, we work really well. Look at this. Working over the high side on Denny Hamlin. We're up alongside Brad Keselowski now for 13th. We're moving forward early on, guys. This is amazing. Same pit window as at Daytona. Every 20 laps, we should be in for fuel. So in the length of race we have, which is about 81 laps, that should equate to an easy 3-stop race. But for now, we're just enjoying raw speed aplenty. We've got plenty of it. Look at this. We're up alongside Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who's tailing his Roush teammate Greg Biffle early doors. This is a great early run from our team. Team Budget Sports, as someone very wittily commented on the last video. We're moving up, boys. Hope Dave's enjoying this. Bobby Labonte certainly is. He just complimented that as a great lap. Thank you very much. These guys normally sticking on the bottom. Stenhouse moving up a little bit to try and stop our advances. He's unsuccessful. He just gives us a side draft. But here's our problem. We get a good run off the corner and then just have no guts in a straight line. So they stay side by side with us. But what this race really is a great demonstration of, and you'll see so many examples of this, is how good the AI is in this game. It really is the best part of this game, and it makes races like this so fun because they race you hard, side by side, lap after lap. But you can trust them to do that. As you see, Stenhouse just comes up a little bit to try and cut me off. He's not successful. He'll hold his line. We're getting a bit tight in the middle of 1 and 2. This is a brilliant battle for what is effectively 12th place. We're not even in the top 10. We're certainly not battling for the lead, but we are battling hard for this position up in here. This is great to watch. This is really enjoyable. I hope it's coming across well to watch as it was to actually drive, because it is really good fun to drive. And we are still side by side with Stenhouse. 6 laps into the race. Now he moves out in front just a little bit again. Be interested to see how tyre fall-off works, but again, we're so good in the centre-off of 1 and 2. We are so good. And we got the run on Stenhouse. Can we complete the pass this time? No. He noses ahead again. We've been side by side now for something stupid like 4 or 5 laps straight. This is ridiculous. On lap 7 of 81 then. At the Folds of Honor QuickTrip, not quite 500. That's not a mouthful at all. Through the tri-oval again. Atlanta really is one of my favourite racetracks on the schedule. And it's showing right now. We are still a decent ways ahead of whoever's behind, which looks like it might be Regan Smith who's worked his way up in the mirrors. We're just trying to make this pass on Ricky Stenhouse. We've got no guts in a straight line. That's the problem. If one of those guys in front was closer, we might be able to pull a little bit of a draft, but we've just not got anything. In fact, that is Chase Elliott who's pulling up behind us. Elliott, who started near us originally, but didn't get the same really good start that we did. Obviously, he's got a good car early on and will be moving up through the field early. Just took a little bit more time to get going than we did. On lap 9 now of 81, the lap's ticking by really quickly right now. Whoa, Chase Elliott's on the inside, making it 3 wide. Was not expecting that. I had to burp the throttle a little bit there in 1 and 2. Was not expecting Elliott to go for the move on the inside. He passes both of us in one move. I'll give you that, Chase. That was pretty excellent. But me and Stenhouse continue our duel. Or do we? Has the tyre started to fall off? Remember, we are running the new 2016 rules package. Softer tyres from Goodyear, lower downforce and everything else. And boy, it's providing some good racing so far here. Just like in real life, to be honest with you. The real Folds of Honor QuickTrip 500 in Atlanta this year was very interesting in that there was barely any cautions. A lot of it ran under green flag, and yet there was a lot of really good racing and individual battles for position. And it's very similar now. We've been in this battle for, well, what is now 13th place for Ricky Stenhouse for most of the first 10 laps, and it still doesn't show any signs of slowing down as Elliott has legged it, by the way. I mean, look at how fast Elliott's torn away from us. We'll see you later on, Chase, because I don't think we're catching up to you again anytime soon. Certainly got a strong car at the start of this one. We have got a decent car. It's just stymied by complete lack of top-end speed, which means Stenhouse still holds the advantage. If we could just... I'm just waiting for my spotter just to tell me, clear low. Please, clear low. Please, I'm begging you. Yes, yes, he just said it. We're clear. We've made the pass on Ricky Stenhouse. It only took us about 8 laps. And he's back on our inside again, isn't he? Seriously, please, just give me the position. He does, finally. And it really is noticeable. If you can get in front of another car and cut them off and take the air off, it is very noticeable. But the problem was we were side by side with him for so long. We should finally make the move stick this time because we run so well in the middle of 1 and 2. That really is where our car is best at this point in time. We're not bad in 3 and 4. And this is with a fairly default setup, by the way. I haven't really made that many changes except for to the gear ratios and the tape. That's about it. This car handles really well out in the box, and the setups in this game are pretty decent to start off with in general. So props to DMR and Monster Games for that. The base setups in this game are really good. 13 laps in of 81. This is going to be a fairly lengthy race. I'm not sure if it'll be longer or shorter than Daytona. We're lapping quicker, but we're obviously doing more laps than at Daytona, and potential for more cautions possibly. We'll see. And we'll also likely have more pit stops, because remember, Daytona was only a 2-stop race. This will be a 3, guarantee it. Maybe a 4-stop for some people. It'll be like the Singapore Grand Prix all over again. We're working Greg Biffle and we're working Clint Boyer at this point in time, who for some reason is not allowed to display 5-hour energy, because apparently energy drinks are just as harmful to kids as Jack Daniels and Coors Light beer. Guns, however, maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, we've passed Biffle. Can we pass Boyer? Oh, he's beating and banging on us down the back. That's a little bit cheeky, Clint. I know you're frustrated because your cars this year have sucked even worse than the final year at Michael Waltrip Racing was for you. There's no need for that. Come on now, just because you've lost your sponsor to Eric Jones, who looks like he's late for his science class in high school. There's no need to take it out on me, sir. We are still side by side. This is unbelievable. Greg, can you do me a favour and take the air off his rear spoiler? Actually, I think that's what he might have done. He has done it. We are up to 11th now. We're actually on the verge of challenging for a top 10 position. This is huge for our team, and I'll tell you what, if we can keep in this position for the entire race, this will be a huge boost for our team. This career mode style really gives you an appreciation of how it is to be a small team in NASCAR. You know, how you sort of appreciate any result you can get. Now, I've got to say, tyre wear's been pretty good so far. I'm not feeling any tyre fall off. Well, not much anyway, which is a little bit unusual given how the softer tyres are in real life. It is a lot stronger at other tracks, but I think because our car's been handling pretty well, we've not really abused the tyres too much here. But we are coming up on pit stops fairly shortly, and I will tell you that pitting is easily my weakest part as a racer in this game. Sounds really basic, isn't it? How about going slowly and driving onto a pit road where you're limited to 45 miles an hour? Surely that's the easiest bit, AJ. No, that's the bit that's ended a few of my races here. Mainly because there's no grip down on the pit entry. Oh, hello, though. Hello, speaking of Eric Jones, he's just pulled an absolute worldie for me. He's parked the bus in front of Tony Stewart, who's presumably now just going to wreck him in a straight line down the backstretch, and he's let me take 10th position. This is brilliant. We're in the top 10, guys. Team Budget Sports rolling up here in the top 10 in the most bland race car ever seen. Sorry, Moog, but, you know, I mean, it's not your fault the car looks boring. It's kind of ours. Michael McDowell, what are you doing? What are you doing? Mike, what are you doing? Cheers. No need for any funny business here when you're 37th and being lapped after barely 20 laps. I mean, just what is your life? Then again, he's on the same. We should be below teams like those guys. And yet we're running 10th. How is this possible? I mean, this is a complete polar opposite so far to NASCAR 15. NASCAR 15, I hated every minute of being on the track. Yet I won Daytona, finished like 20th or so at Atlanta. As we have the fuel warning light on now, we have a couple of laps to go until our pit stop. We're going to stretch the fuel as far as we can, just so we've got more flexibility in terms of strategy later on. We may also get another position here, because Kurt Busch has now been held up by lap traffic. I think that was Ryan Ellis. Oh! Kurt saw me approaching late, and he was like, no, I ain't having that, sunshine. You may have passed my team boss a lot easier, but not me. Chase Elliott had moved up to 8th. He's also stuck behind Ryan Blaney, so the young guns holding each other up. And they're giving me more positions. Look at this! I'm up to 8th place! I'm in 8th place, guys! What's going on? This is amazing! This is absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, basically in NASCAR 15, I won Daytona, and then my season fell off a cliff from the next race onwards. Whereas I had a mediocre run at Daytona in this game, and yet, so far, cars are going better than now. How do I pit in? I'm going to take this race. Oh! Whoa. Didn't need that. Chase Elliott was coming in very hot. I had slowed to about the pace of an OAP, who was lost on the way to the bingo hall and nearly paid the price for it. A little bit more slick. There's just no grip down on the pit entry, especially at Atlanta. Oh, we nearly spin again. Sorry, Orange Cone. I think we just wiped you out. Finally, in the clumsiest entry to pit road ever seen, literally NASCAR is going to hand me a breathalyzer while I'm taking tyres on this stop to check that I am not actually full of absinthe. That was an absolute atrocity. What state of that entry onto pit road, and state of this entire pit stop so far, as I get blocked off by Kyle Busch. Oh, it might have been Matt Kenseth, actually. No, it was Kyle Busch. But, well, that may well have undone some of the good work we did out on the track. And actually, is this the first green flag pit stop we've had so far? I think it is. And we're on an estimated 16.5, which would have been, you know, really good in 1998. But in 2016, it's kind of on a level of Kevin Harvick's pit crew, drunk. So, why is there an air of alcoholism in this race so far? Anyway, not a bad pit stop. Not atrocious. Not as bad as our second one at Daytona, and we're back underway. Now, you see there, I just rejoined the track immediately. That's kind of what the AI do. That's one thing they could do with tweaking, is how the AI come off and on pit road. In this game, it's kind of wildly inconsistent. But sometimes they'll just cut right onto the track rather than staying on the apron and then merging smoothly. So they could do with working on that just a little bit. But either way, lap 21 of 81. And we have completed our first green flag pit stop. We're down in 38th. Hopefully won't be staying there for too long. Now all we need to do is to let this cycle of pit stops go through. What we don't want right now is a caution. That will really bugger us up the arse, for want of a better phrase. Cars are rejoining. We're picking up positions again. Now I see a couple of guys who I was racing with there. Biffle, Keselowski, Hellebane. Casey Mears, I don't know if we were racing with him. Casey Kane was near us. So these are all guys we are racing around or near to. So there's Denny Hamlin. Remember, we passed him earlier in the race. He's rejoined just ahead of us. But we should get him here as he's still coming up to speed. And we do. Goodbye, Hamlin. I'm just going to sit back and enjoy having a Toyota that's faster in a straight line than Denny Hamlin and Joe Gibbs Racing. It was only true for about 5 seconds, but I'm going to savour it all the same. Eric Jones up in 14th place now, having thrown a spectacular block on Tony Stewart whilst being a lap down. He must be still waiting to pit. That must be what's going on there. Now, that's Ricky Stenhouse Jr. just up ahead. Oh, God, that means... Oh, no. I spent 10 laps trying to pass him for position last time, and now I'm back behind him again. Oh, well, that job may have got a little bit easier as we have our first caution of the race. And having literally just pitted, and we're up in 13th place, I'm not planning to pit this time around. So... we restart 11th, so 2 guys in front of us did pit there.
The race is going green.
Here we go, we're back underway. And back up inside the top 10, or at least looking for a top 10 spot. Look at this! We're charging on, we might lead this thing! Oh, what a restart we're having! We're up alongside Kevin Harvick as we go into turn 1. Come on, little guy, everything you have, we've got our noses in front. And then, we just lose everything. It's as if Kevin Harvick just looked out the window of his car and was like, excuse me, what the F do you think you're doing here? You are just, people like you do not lead this motor race. That's just not happening. But having said all of that, we are still 7th place coming off the lap after the restarts. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is down on our low side, and I think someone else is there as well. I think that's Chase Elliott. No, that's Kurt Busch. We were 3 wide there on the restart alongside Kurt Busch and Jr. Jr. obviously recovering from his concussion to compete in this race. Tony Stewart's on the low side. He's annoyed that I mugged him off when he was stuck behind Eric Jones, so now he's looking for payback. Let's hope he doesn't dump me in a straight line. Chase Elliott's also there as well, who passed us earlier. We're just sort of sinking back to where we were. But I tell you what, we get such a great restart and then just lose all momentum at the top end. But we still end up gaining a few positions per restart, so overall we're all right. If we can stay up front, I mean, very briefly, I might even put a slow-mo replay in here. Very briefly, for about half a second, we led the Folds of Honor QuickTrip 500. We didn't lead a lap, no, but we did lead this race for a very short period of time, but it still counts in my mind. Tony Stewart's got the position here, but we are generally solid at this end of the track as well, so we might look for the run on him here. We've got Chase Elliott attacking behind, so we can't drop in behind Tony Stewart. And that might be a bit of an issue because we desperately need draft off people. We just don't have any speed in a straight line. Oh, Chase Elliott coming up the middle. That was pretty aggressive. Threw a little bit of an elbow on us. Moved us up the racetrack in 1 and 2. That's fine, Chase. You'll get yours. That's the second time you've pulled an aggressive move on me in this race. Aggressive but still smart moves, though. That's the difference. In NASCAR 14 and 15, they just literally go, well, there's blatantly no room there. You're already 3 wide, but hey, guys, I want to come join the party as well. Oh, why have we crashed? How did that happen? I literally have no idea. Meanwhile, you're face-palming and retrieving your controller from out the window and in the street. We are right up behind Chase Elliott. Let's see if we can pull a little bit of... Oh, he checked up in the middle of 1 and 2. We have to go high. Not get high, go high. Let's tuck in behind. Let's get a little bit of draft, but they may have pulled out a little bit too far now. Everything looking good on the car. Still using the tyre. We're not abusing the tyres too much, which is very useful. As I say, there doesn't appear to be that much tyre fall off at Atlanta. At other tracks, it's a lot steeper. I can confirm tyre fall off at other places. I'm expecting Darlington will be very severe as it is in real life. But here, not so much, which granted is not too realistic given how they were this year, but a slight alteration to consider for the next patch. They have already released a couple of patches for this game, which is really good. They're already working on some of the early issues on release, which is good to see. I think the first one for NASCAR 14 was like 6 months after, and they were like, oh, fine, whatever, here's a patch for your game. What do people still care about this crap? We just want to make biker gang games now. So they did, and it was terrible. Seriously, I was watching some of my NASCAR 15 career mode videos the other day. Anyone who says that game's better than this, you're allowed a different opinion, but it's wrong. Your opinion is just wrong. Anyway, Tony Stewart, I'm now looking to the inside on Tony Stewart. I haven't passed many people in this race so far on the low side, and that's because generally your car still gets a little bit tight with the dirty air, and the dirty air and the airflow is simulated so well in this game. That's another neat touch. You saw there I was beneath Tony Stewart, didn't get the momentum off the corner, and he was able to keep the position, so it's there. So now get a little bit of a draft. Let's see if we can work the outside. That's generally where we've been stronger in this race. Remember, we're also looking for our next pit stop. When that will be, well, it might not be too far away, actually. We're at lap 35 of 81.
Still there.
And remember, we're going for about 21 laps at a time on fuel. So it might not be that far away. Bearing in mind, we'll have some caution laps, so we'll go a little bit further this time. That's useful. It means we have a bit more flexibility on our final stop when we can take it. We can either work from the end backwards, or we can go at another point and maybe get some tyres on this car. That's Matt DiBenedetto holding everyone up. And for the second time in this race, Tony Stewart's going to lose a position to me because he gets choked up behind a lap car, who nearly wrecks into me. Maybe that was Tony Stewart trying to do a bit of pinball. Maybe he punted DiBenedetto, hoping that DiBenedetto would then wreck into me. But fortunately, Reddit's favourite NASCAR driver is unscathed. And Tony Stewart is just back there. Lap traffic cannot even stop him going side by side with me. He's not to be denied. Some really enjoyable racing. Again, still, I just love the fact, again, we've been racing side by side, battling for this position for countless numbers of laps. Oh, and we're still just edging with each other through the tri-oval once more. This is brilliant stuff. This is so tense. I might have to have a sip of tea.
Still there.
Sip of tea has duly been had, and it's still so tense. We're trying to come down and get a side draft off him. On the run down the back straight once more. Chase Elliott, please give me some draft. We're trying to get a side draft off Tony. I'm just hoping he's in a good mood today. He appears to be. He hasn't wrecked us yet. So I'm assuming he will hold his line throughout this battle. We've got a good run of 4 this time, but he's still there. He's going to come back. Just the whole time, you're probably all watching this with your eyes kind of just focused on the bottom left corner of the screen, watching for a nose to peek back alongside and then sort of disappear again, like now.
Still there.
Well, maybe not this time, actually. I think Stewart's done enough to hold the position here. I won't be able to get alongside. Let's pick up a draft. Let's see what we can do in 3 and 4 this time. We are working him over so hard. Actually wondering about whether I have to pit again. I don't know if I've lost count or lost track. I've had such a good battle here. I've completely lost count of where we are on strategy. Oh, we've still got 6 laps to go on fuel. We're okay. See, the right front appears to be wearing quite a lot, but again, it just doesn't appear to be losing that much grip. So, as I say, on other tracks, the tyre fall-off is a lot steeper, so I don't know if that's just a thing they need to work on at Atlanta. Maybe Goodyear brought a slightly different tyre here for this weekend. One of the harder tyres from 2015. Who knows? More to the point, who cares? Because I'm having great racing nonetheless. Low downforce package working well here. And it's working well for us because we're still running 9th. I'd just like to point out, we are still well within the top 10. We can't seem to get past Tony Stewart for love nor money, but we are well within the top 10. I think that might be Matt Kenseth who's coming up behind us now to maybe try and eliminate us from the top 10. But even if we fall behind Matt, although we might not, because we might finally make the pass on Tony Stewart. We've got a great run in 1 and 2 this time. Oh, we're trying to close him down. Just how aggressive do you get with smoke?
Still there.
Ooh, there's no smoke without fire. Oh, this is close. In fact, this entire battle has been straight fire. Someone's on pit road, so I wonder if that's some short pitting. I wonder if that's someone sticking rigidly to their strategy. Maybe someone who pitted under the last caution, I don't know. Who's that coming up behind? I think that is Kenseth. That is Kenseth. He's looking to try and join the fun. He's clearly got a much faster car than both of us.
You're all clear.
Or maybe not, but, I mean, obviously me and Tony are holding each other up right now, battling, but Chase Elliott hasn't got away either. I've got 3 laps to go until my next pit stop, so I'll have to curtail this battle fairly soon. Anyway, but we have finally made the pass on Tony Stewart. How long did that take? I'm willing to bet that was about 10 laps. I can't remember on the fly, but go back and watch and see where that battle started. I'm convinced it was about 10 laps of non-stop battling with Tony Stewart for 8th position. This game makes you work as hard for a position at the lower end of the top 10 as any other game does for the lead. Like, however hard you battle for the lead in any other game is how hard you battle for a spot in the top 10 or 15. And I love this game for that. We're trying to attack Chase Elliott, but I think the tyres really have gone away now. We've not got much left. Matt Kenseth on the attack on the inside. We might just let him go, you know, pulling a Mark Martin. No point wearing our stuff out when we're about to pit anyway. Kenseth's got the faster car.
Still there.
You just go on ahead, sir.
You're low on fuel.
You run your race. Thanks, Bobby. I totally didn't realise I was low on friggin' fuel. But I will be pitting this time, so we peel to the left. Looks like Chase Elliott's pitting this time, is he? Oh, ow. I cannot seem to slow down for getting on the bloody pit road. But, oh, well, we got some damage. That's not going to help us. I was hoping to... Oh, whoa! We lost a bit of control again. It's so hard getting onto pit road in this. Is it just me? We've completely wrecked Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and caused a caution. Whoops. So, Whoopsie daisy. I appear to have accidentally caused a massive wreck. Sorry, Ricky. I'm so sorry. I don't know how to pit. RTFM on pit stops. The other drivers are literally like, how the hell did this clown get a NASCAR license without knowing how the F to pit? How is that possible? But that caution did help us in that it gave us time to make those repairs and not lose too much time. We're out in 20th, which isn't too bad. I was expecting to be a lot lower down after that absolute atrocity that was my entrance on the pit road. Once again, we get a good restart. We restart at lap 48. We're up to 14th already off the restart. And then we just lose all speed. It's as soon as we hit 4th gear. There's nothing in 4th gear. The poor hamsters just have not had enough carrots and seeds and fresh produce this morning. Maybe a special leaf of lettuce if they're feeling particularly saucy this morning. Is that Harvick down on the low side? Probably still furious that we dared to try and pass him for the lead earlier. That was hilarious. But we are back 17th place, so we still made some positions up. I mean, the restarts are taking on a familiar characteristic. We gain a ton of spots and then lose almost all of them again in turn 1. But we still end up with a net gain of like about a handful or so positions. We restarted 20th, we're now running 17th. They are 3 wide in front of us. This is a pack. This is like being back at Daytona. Which way do we go? Oh, Trevor Bayne was making a move to the middle there. I didn't see him until very late. And here comes Jimmy Johnson tearing up back through. So some of the guys leading on that last stint are back in the pack here. So I wonder if they got caught out by that caution. To be honest, I think even I was caught out by that caution. So look at this train. Look at this pack. This is a wad of cars. And this has just got trouble written on over it. Do we go 3 wide? They're 4 wide in front of us. 3 by 3. This is like being back at Daytona. Guys, are we really sure this is a good idea? Casey Kane being squeezed up into us by his teammate Jimmy. He then squeezes us into the wall. It's like a game of pass the punting. I don't even know what I'm talking about here. I need another sip of tea.
Still there.
Tea has been duly sipped. And we're now looking to defend 18th place from Paul Menard, who fancies a bit of the action. But he's got to get through us first. And we're very high in 1 and 2 this time. Let's see if we get any more speed coming off. Oh, we kind of go high to low in 1 and 2 and nearly chop the nose off Paul Menard. Sorry about that, mate. That wasn't quite as aggressive as I wanted it to be. But hey, it worked. It gets results. I'm kind of like those evil kind of anti-hero cops. I don't play by the rules, but I get results. Or something. Whoa, we're 3 wide in the tri-oval. Kane and Hamlin on the inside. What's David Reagan doing chilling up here in 15th? What the hell are you doing here, sir? So Reagan's just up here chilling. Presumably he still thinks he's subbing for Kyle Busch last year. But we make the pass on both Hamlin and Kane in one corner. And we might even make the pass on Reagan going down the back. And we almost do. Are we about to get 3 positions in 1 lap? Yeah, baby, we are. Yeah! That was good. Well, I don't know what that was, but still, I'm enjoying this. It's been such an enjoyable race so far. As I say, every position has been really hard work, but really hard, satisfying work. Like, on NASCAR 15, I won a race because the AI derped out and then just couldn't go more than 5 laps without an AI car crashing into me. In this game, I'm finishing mid-table, but I'm working and sweating and maybe even bleeding for every single position I have. There are genuine blood, sweat and tears going into every position that I earn on the track. Starting with this one. It's Brad Keselowski in the Brad Keselowski sponsored Brad Keselowski Ford Fusion for Brad Keselowski Racing. No, wait, that's actually Team Penske. But Brad Keselowski racing cars are in the game, and now Brad Keselowski is being overtaken by me. The Brad Keselowski car, driven by Brad Keselowski, has just been overtaken by someone who isn't Brad Keselowski. Hello, Bayne. It's Trevor Bayne next up. He's enjoying quite a good race. The Roush guys are having a good run so far. We are at lap 54 of 81, so well past the halfway point now, and we have 1 more stop to go. The question is, when do we take it? With tyre wear being where it's been, that's a bit of a tongue twister, with tyre wear being where it's been for most, no, this sentence still doesn't make any sense. I'm paying too much attention to the actual racing on track. This is what you need, Formula 1. Races cannot be carried on pit strategy alone. You need actual racing on the track as well, and boy, have we got plenty of it in this career mode episode. We're still on the outside of Trevor Bayne. Oh, goodness me. He's trying to save Roush's pride, especially as I accidentally wiped out his teammate. I'm surprised Danica Patrick's not been up in here trying to get physical. So we run down to 1 once again. We've got the position, trying to pinch him down, and we do pinch him down. We've taken the air off the nose enough. We've got the position. Yes, we've got 13th place. We're working our way back up towards the top 10 again. And this has been around our level for the entire race. And every position has been really, really hard work. But as I say, it just makes it that much more satisfying when you earn the position. You really have to fight for everything. And that's exactly how a career mode in a racing game should be. The AI don't flinch when you're on the high side of them like they do in Formula 1. If you just poke your nose down the inside. On F1 2016, they go, don't touch me, please. In this game, they're like, yeah, mother trucker, bring it. You want to put your nose down the inside? You see what happens. Anyway, there's a nice little battle pack up ahead I'm trying to catch up with. Clint Boyer is on the tail end of it. There's some other guys up in here as well. I think Tony Stewart's up in there as well, battling with the man who will be his teammate next season. Only because he couldn't afford to get Carl Larson from Chip Ganassi. So Boyer is kind of... how does that make Boyer feel? It's just like, oh, cheers. Well, you couldn't afford someone really good, so you got me instead. I'm like the poor replacement. I'll tell you what, considering his form this year at HSM, oh, dearie me. That might be more down to the cars, who knows. Anyway, they are side by side up in front. In fact, that looks more like a Ford, so I'm wondering if that's... That's Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Hang on a minute. How the... Wait, what timeout? Hang on. How the hell has Ricky Stenhouse, the man that I accidentally spun and wrecked in the tri-oval to cause the last caution, how the hell has he restarted 12th? Well, I don't know where he restarted, but he's running 12th. I restarted 20th, and I'm pretty sure I got a lot less damage from that than him. What? Is his car just completely made of duct tape right now? Whoa, either way, Eric Jones once again playing blocker. I'm loving that. It's just out of nowhere. Eric Jones is just acting as the natural rubber banding in this race. It's just like, oh, you need to catch up to the next AI guy? Hang on a minute, let me slow him up for you. So we've got 12th place almost by default, and now we're working Greg Biffle over for 11th. Is that Casey Mears inside the top 10? Ah, Casey Mears. Casey, you remember our history in NASCAR career mode games, don't you? Don't you?
Still there?
Yes, you do. So if you know what's good, you just stay there. You just stay there, and we'll be fine. We are fine. And now, more lap traffic to deal with. It's Michael McDowell playing blocker. And he's held up a bunch of guys, including Clint Boyer,
All clear.
who goes almost 3 wide behind us. But we are back up into 9th place once more. We're back inside the top 10. I'll tell you what, if we can hang on for a top 10 finish, this would be an absolutely huge result for Team Budget Sports, Team Bargain Basement Sports, Team We Need New Haulers, but so we have to look on Craigslist for ones that are 12 years old sports. I think the first one was a lot catchier. Anyway, we're on the outside of Tony Stewart again. Where have we seen this before? Pretty much every lap of this race so far. It feels like we've been on the outside of someone, working them over for position. And we've got Ryan Blaney coming up. Does he block me or Tony? Or neither of us? Do we go full Mika Hakkinen and Michael Schumacher at Spa 98? Was it 98? I don't even know. Oh, we're on the high side and Tony's on the low side. We split Ryan Blaney either... No, Tony Stewart did get held behind Ryan Blaney. We did make the position. Goodness me, I thought he went low and I went high for a second. Woo, that was a bit tense. That was a bit squeaky bum time right there. And Martin Truex Jr. having an awful run so far. He's down to 34th. Maybe we'll wait until later in the season to see his chase berth form. That's James McMurray, who I think is also a lap down as well. So 2 of our 2016 real-life chase grid having really, really bad runs at Atlanta. But hey, you've only got 24 more attempts to get in the chase. Plenty of time, plenty of chances. But we head down the back and suddenly a moment of calm. We suddenly have a moment of rare serenity in this race as we're on our own on the track. We've got the track to ourselves. We're running 8th place. Lead us 9.5 seconds up the road. And we're doing all right. We're doing all right. We're 18 laps from home. So we're well within our fuel window. So that just leaves the question of when we make our next pit stop. We've slowed down a lot, so... Well, the next pit stop's coming up now. Here we go. This will be our final pit stop of the race. Let's see if we can get onto pit road without any trouble.
Yellow's out.
And we're not going to need to, because they just threw a... Did they just throw the caution because they saw me heading to pit road? They were like, lads, we know how this went last time. David Hoots is just up there. He's like, put it out, put it out. AJ's trying to pit again. Just put the caution out before anyone gets wrecked. But either way, we will make the stop here. We're going to make a few adjustments on the car. And let's see where that brings us out. 11th. Good job, pit crew. We are improving. These guys are certainly no Team Turdberger 2.0. If you don't get that joke, go back and watch my Days of Thunder series and how crap the pit crews were in that game. But either way, we're back down and away. We've restarted 11th, and we're making a tilt for the lead. Regan Smith must have stayed out under the last caution because he's leading along with David Reagan. We're on the inside, and oh, he knocks me down beneath the apron. Oh, that was so close. Regan Smith chopped our nose off. Oh, we're still getting tires. We're still saving it. Ooh. That was a bit terrifying. Jesus. Oh, dear. That was only a bit terrifying. Let's put a replay in there. We're on the inside on Regan Smith, and he just cuts us the F off. He cuts right down. He's determined to hang on to his lead, and he knocks us down on the apron, and we're full sideways. We save it twice, but get knocked back into a slide twice more. And as we rejoin the action, we're 4 and 5 wide, working through lap traffic at the back of the field. This is absolute insanity. We're right back in the madhouse. We're passing dozens of cars, and yet none of them are for position. This is ridiculous. 4 and 5 wide once more. That was 4 wide back there. Oh my goodness. We've been 3 and 4 wide on almost every single restart. And we're still only 20th, having passed pretty much half the field on our comeback job. And we've got about 11 laps to go now. Maybe 10. 19th place Kevin Harvick's not far up the road, and we got a good run on him. We're down 20th. This is disappointing. We've run higher than this in this race. Can we get back to a top 10 finish? We've got a lot of work to do. Kevin Harvick's there, but he's held up by Austin Dillon, who's actually a lap down. So we'll get 1 position after passing those 2 cars. But it is on Kevin Harvick, who's one of the strongest cars in this field today. He always is on the intermediates. When that car says it's freaky fast, he's not joking, and he's here to prove it. Look at this. He's like, oi, excuse me, just because I was bottled up behind a lap car does not give you the right to pass me, especially after you nearly mugged me off for the lead earlier. I'm still embarrassed about that. How dare you, sir? All right, then, you are Kevin Harvick on an intermediate, so better give best to you here. We don't have any more pit stops, so I won't get that position back off him in the pits either. Well, I might get it back here because there's a big wad of cars up in front of us. Look at this. He's going 3 wide in front of us with Casey Kane and Trevor Bayne. We hit the wall on the run to 1. I was so busy paying attention to what was going on in front of us, I needed to wreck myself. Oh my goodness me, this is absolute carnage. Absolute scenes at this point in time. It would appear we're the last car on the lead lap right now. Jimmy Johnson, I think, maybe stuck at the, on the tail end of the lead lap, out in front of the leaders. I think he may have unlapped himself up front. But either way, we've now got a big pack of cars to work our way through in not long, with not many laps to do so. We've basically got to keep our foot in here. Whereas earlier in the race we might go, do you know what? I don't fancy going 4 wide again. At this point, we don't have a choice. Keep your foot down, keep your foot down. We're going 3 wide with Kane and Harvick. There's Regan Smith. Oi, you. Yeah. What was that about on the restart, mate? Oi, what was that? What was that? I'm flipping him off right now. I'm doing the Scott Dixon hand gesture at him.
Still there.
And I'm pitching him right down in 3 and 4. And we get the position. So Regan Smith is plummeting like a stone anyway. It looks like his strategy of staying out on the last caution is not going to pay off. It might do if he saved enough fuel. But either way, we're working our way up. We're up to 17th now, looking at Stenhouse Jr. for 16th. We've had a lot of tussles today. We're like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. We're destined to fight forever, aren't we, in Stenhouse Jr. on and off pit road. And we have another caution. We have 1 more caution. So, looks like we'll have a dash for the line here. Do we pit? Doesn't look like many people are pitting, so we're not. We stay out, and it looks like we'll restart 14th on slightly used tyres. Not that old, though, so we should be in good position here. So here we go, potentially the final restart of this race. And we get another good jump. Here we go, come on, we can do this. We can get a top 10. 3 laps to go at the line. 3 laps to settle the Folds of Honor QuickTrip 500. We're back up in the top 10 again. We're on the outside of Carl Edwards. We're 3 wide again. 3, maybe 4 wide on the low side. Boyer's got the nose on us. Reagan's on our inside. Reagan's continuing this heroic run. Boyer slots in behind him. They both get the position. Keselowski's down there as well. We were 3 wide for almost the entirety of turns 1 and 2. Tony Stewart's now trying to work on us for 13th place. We're back 13th. We're looking 3 wide again on Boyer and Keselowski. We'll be coming to 2 to go this time. In one of the most frenzied and action-packed races for 10th place I think I've ever seen or ever had in my life as a racing gamer. Reagan and Boyer in front of us. Can we go 3 wide? If we've got enough for a run, we definitely will. Here we go. We're going 3 wide. Come on, little car. Everything you have. Everything you have. We're up to 10th. Boyer's come through. Reagan slots in behind. We're in 10th place now. Boyer made the pass on him as well. Look at everyone queuing up behind us. But the pack in front of us has broken away a bit. Can we catch up to them and make any more positions? Well, our first concern is with Clint Boyer for 9th place. White flag in the wind. We're going to have a finish here. No matter what happens in the Folds of Honor QuickTrip 500 at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And our target is firmly set on Clint Boyer. Although we've got Tony Stewart sniffing around for a top 10 as well behind us. Can we protect this 10th place and seal what will be one of the biggest results in the history of this team? Even bigger potentially than that Daytona 500 win. Stewart's right there. He's challenging for 10th place. We're trying to make a late charge on 9th for Boyer. Boyer's there. He's probably going to get the run to the line. Harvick's also charging up through the field on fresh tyres. It's a drag race to the line between all 4 of us. And we hold on to 10th. Yes. Yes, we hold on to 10th. Ah, yes. I have never been this stoked to finish 10th in any race in any video game I've ever played. Oh my God. I tell you what, when I finished recording that race, because I do commentary post now, when I finished recording that race, I legitimately had to go and make myself a cup of tea and then have a shower to calm down after that. That was one of the most intense races I've ever had in any video game, in any career mode. That was sweat mode engaged from lap 1. And I think, to be honest with you, if you want the reasons why this game is not worse than the ETX games and what this game does well, watch this race. So here's the full result. It's Joey Logano who takes the win up front ahead of Dale Earnhardt Jr., Matt Kenseth, Carl Edwards and Chase Elliott complete the top 5. Then it's Kurt Busch, Casey Mears with a good run in 7th, 8th then Clint Boyer 9th, 10th for us. Kevin Harvick, Stewart, Bain, Biffle and Stenhouse complete the top 15. Reagan slipped to 16th in the end, so that was a shame. He had a good run going. Haha, Regan Smith down 19. Sucks to be you. Jimmy Johnson, the last car on the lead lap, and then the rest of the finishers. Castle down 24th, Larson down 25th. A couple of these guys were running near the front early on and then faded. Paul Menard was up there early on, but couldn't really keep that going. And then down here in the Hall of Shame, Ryan Ellis and AJ Allmendinger both had problems throughout the race. They finished multiple laps down. Newman had an awful day. Look at that. But then we're also watching, most of these guys are ones we only saw when they were holding up guys we were battling with. So thanks a lot, guys. Cheers for your support on this one. And there's a look at your top 10 again. Carl Busch finished 8th in the end. Mears with a good run to 7th. And we finished 10th in that one. Look how long the race went. That was a 25% length race. It went 63 minutes. I told you it would work out longer than Daytona. This will probably be one of the longer races of the year. And look at all those guys we were having battles with throughout the race. All the Roush guys finishing nose to tail 13th through 15th. Keselowski down 17th. Denny Hamlin down 18th. He was running a lot further up early on. And we finished ahead of Kevin Harvick at Atlanta and Jimmy Johnson. How did we do that? It's normally Jimmy Johnson, Kevin Harvick, and that's it. And then everyone else, thanks for turning up, but you're not going to win this race. We finished ahead of both of them. How the hell have we done that? How have Team Budget Sports done that? Beers are on me tonight, lads. Or maybe on Dave, because, hey, he's the one bankrolling this thing. And let's see what winnings we've got for beer money. Upgrade money. 10th place finish gets us a nice dollar. Title sponsor Mood gives us a nice payout. $11,397 out of it. And where does that put us in the points? We're 27th coming in, obviously. What does that do to things? All the way up to 17th. We are 1 position out of the chase after 2 races. Do you know what? I'll take that. I will take that. What a run so far. And we've picked up some secondary sponsors. I'm not surprised. Who wouldn't want to get on board the greatest underdog story being told right now? As there he is, my slightly Dick Dastardly looking guy. And this is quite an interesting thing to finish off. You get a sort of choice of secondary sponsor, and it's almost like a sort of betting thing where it's like, if you think you can fulfill this requirement, take this sponsor on. So have a look there at the bottom. It's a very low payout for IR sensors, but you only have to finish top 35. And yet for MDS, you have to finish top 20, but you get a much bigger payout. And of course, those ones at the top are qualified top 20 and lead a lap. I'm not optimistic of leading a lap. I mean, we nearly did at Atlanta, but kind of didn't. Qualified top 20, we haven't looked close to that all season just because of our engine and 1 lap speed not being where we need it to be. Top 15 or 20 is optimistic. I'm just not sure we'll have that good a run again. Like, I'm not sure we'll be able to match that, especially as Vegas and Phoenix are coming up, and they're 2 of my worst tracks on the calendar. So I might go 25th, but I don't know. It's an interesting dilemma to have. I like that system. It's very interesting. We can't afford any more facilities at this point in time, but that's okay. That's all right. Gradual building. This career mode kind of reminds me of Super Hang-On, with a lot of emphasis on earning money to reinvest and upgrade in facilities and cars. Weirdly, we're not shown on being on the chase bubble. Paul Menard is. He's behind us in the points, and yet he's being shown as needing points, whereas we're the ones in 17th place. So, excuse me, we are actually on the verge of being in the chase, so recognise, you're here. Reagan's actually in the chase as it stands. Look at this. What a crazy start to the season it's been. Anyway, thank you so much, guys, for locking into this episode of NASCAR Heat Evolution Career Mode on BombersportsPlays. I'm not joking you, one of the most enjoyable career mode episodes in any game ever to record. I'm really enjoying playing this game. I keep saying it. I am enjoying playing this game, and that's a total mirror reversal to NASCAR 15, where I literally was like, oh, for God's sake, do I have to record more of this shit? This game, no way. I can't wait for more episodes. Subscribe if you have not already. Destroy the like button like I destroyed Stenhouse on that pit stop. And I will see you guys next time out on BombersportsPlays.